Cool, cool, cool. Just have to wait for a second until it pops up on here so I can open it. Because right now it's just doing the whole recording thing again. It says live now, but it only... Oh, there we go, there we go. Cool. It's all correct. There we go. Cool. Now I can see things. Is it better like this? I'll put it a little bit lower now. Oh wait, the sound. I'm dumb. Let's see. Now it's a little bit lower than half. Is it working? I know. Yeah, yeah. Even more. Damn. Ah, great. Thank you. Also, hello. Let's see. Bear with me, because I really can't read for shit, and neither can I do voices, so you're in for a whole treat here. A winter wonderland. That's how this place was pitched to us. Out in the middle of a forest with an unpronounceable name in a village that time forgot. In the email, it sounded like every other ghost hunter's paradise that we get message about, isolated and antiquated, with a tourism board encouraging hokey effects and gaudy billboards. The vast majority of those emails go unanswered. If Tara weren't so capricious... It was capricious, right? Okay, hold on. If Tara weren't so capricious, this one probably would have too. But no, something about journeying to the middle of nowhere for a month struck her fancy. And like always, I let myself get dragged into it. So here I am, for the last time. The train beats out a slow, monotonous rhythm beneath us. It's an older machine, the sort that looks like it's supposed to take us away, is to take us to wizarding school, or that should be in a museum. When I bought the tickets, I thought we'd be getting on something a bit more modern. Whoops. I shift in my seat, the tattered cushion and the wooden boards doing little to soothe the pain in my back. We've been on this train for 12 hours, and I can feel every one of them in my bones. Tara's been out for the past 6, upright but fast asleep. If the bumpy ride bothers her, she doesn't show it. The paperback she was reading dangles low in her hand, in danger of losing her spot in the book. I scuff my feet across the floor, kicking at nothing. As tired as I am, I'm afraid for our journey to end, for Tara to wake up, to have to talk to her. I'm almost offended that she can sleep. She should be as preoccupied as I am, fighting off intrusive thoughts and wondering what to say. You wouldn't know from looking at her that we've barely spoken for 3 days. That's how long ago I told her that this would be our last trip for the show together, and that I was quitting once we got back home. Everything since then, packing, booking our tickets, finding someone to take care of the cat while we're gone, happened in a blur. We've been cordial, but that's it. My heart hurts, but it tells me I made the right decision. Yawning, I lean back against my seat and I pretend it's comfortable. The cushions are unnoticeable, nearly as firm as the wooden floor beneath us. A heater in the corner hems and haws like an old man, but it's not nearly powerful enough to fight off the chill. I desperately wish that I could sleep too, but one of us needs to be awake when we get to the station, and that should be any minute now. Plus, I've never been able to fall asleep on planes or trains anyway. My eyes are sore, and I rub one of them as I press my cheek to the cold window. Outside, it may as well be another world compared to the city that we left behind. If not for the moonlight, I wouldn't be able to see anything, but the soft white glow makes the snow at nearby forests glisten like it's under some sorcerer's spell. A winter wonderland. The trees are all bare, save for the blanket of snow that covers them. Their empty branches look like something out of a kid's Halloween movie, shaking in the wind as if possessed. They seem to stretch on forever, farther than I can even see. It's more like an ocean than a forest. Morgan certainly wasn't exaggerating when she said this place was remote. Intermittent light flickers amongst the trees in the distant darkness, which I assumed come from either winter campers or hermits. I'd call them crazy, but I'm about to be in the exact same position. Something catches my eyes, way out in the woods. One of the trees, barely visible, seems to shake in a different way than the rest, as if blown by a different breeze. A thin layer of frost beginning to form on the outside of the window as I push my face against it, turning to try and find whatever it was I saw. It's gone though. It was almost certainly never even there to begin with. Either my eyes were playing tricks on me, or the moonlight was. I sigh and sit back again, allowing my eyes to barely close. I won't fall asleep. I'm jostled back into alertness as the train lurches harder than before. There's a shrill whistling sound, and then the shudder of the train grows stronger as we begin to slow down. The driver hits the brakes. We're almost there. Across from me, Tara is undisturbed. Somehow, she still hasn't dropped her book. Apparently, she's less clumsy when she's asleep. Though the frosted window, I can see the lights of what must be Eisenfeld. As we approach the station, they're few and far between, like scattered stars. The buildings appear to be placed sporadically, nestled on and around the hill. As we round a bend, the village goes out of sight once more. I didn't know I'd be reading this much, oh my god! I can't really put this off any longer. I lean over and shake Tara's shoulder.
Hey, wake
hey,
up.
I thought I turned up for
We're almost there.
Hold up 1 second. Hold up. Whoopsie. It's supposed to be off by default though. Where it be? I guess all voices. Bloop. Gone. Why would you want to listen to those like spoken in voice if you listen to my horrible voice acting? Hey, wake up! We're almost there! Without opening her eyes, Tara mumbles a response. How close is almost? Seriously? I don't know, a couple of minutes? Okay, I'm getting up. She isn't getting up. I mean it, if you sleep through the stop, we're just going to... I'm up, Mads. She finally opens her eyes. I cut off the end of my sentence, not sure if I was serious or not. We're not even there yet, and we're already snappy. God, I wish I could sleep just a little longer, I tell myself. You excited? A little bit. Lie. You? Kinda nervous still. What is there to be nervous about? We've done this 1,000 times. Yeah, well, this isn't like those other 1,000 times. And you know that. She smirks again, not meeting my eyes. I don't know, Maddie. I'm sorry. Let's chill. Yeah, sorry. We lapsed into silence. At least when she was asleep, it wasn't awkward. I just want off of this train. I want to be distracted by going to the cabin and taking in the new sights. Any minute now. Hey, listen. Yeah? I know you're like not super thrilled to be here. She pauses, likely hoping for me to disagree, but I don't. But let's just be cool, okay? Let's just try and have a good time. I breathe a deep sigh and let it out slowly. She's right. I committed to this trip. I can at least make it easy on myself. Yeah, okay. Sorry for getting bitchy. I'm tired. I feel you. Hey, how do I look? Like you just slept for 6 hours on a train. That bad, huh? She messes with her hair some in some attempts to improve its state. The results are unnoticeable at best. Hopefully it's good enough for Morgan. Fisher? Morgan Fisher. If she's meeting her online hero or whatever, then I doubt she'll care that your hair is a mess. God, I hope not. I don't want to end up some fashion faux pas vid. I really didn't think about the fact that, like, you know, if I'm gonna stream a official novel, I'm just gonna be reading all the time. Okay, for real though. If she's super fangirly, then let's just let her get it out of her system, and hopefully she won't make things weird later. Making things get weird later is our kind of specialty though. Yeah, true, but hey, it got us to 250,000 subs, so like, we must have been doing something right. I just nod. I still can't help but fixate on how everything she says is past tense. It's over after this. It's fully my decision. All I have to do is say the words, and things will go back to normal. I doubt Tara would ever bring it up again if I asked her not to. It'd be so easy. It's time for gay. We step off the train and into another world. A frigid wind snaps the heat from my body almost immediately, as if it had been waiting until we arrived to pelt us until our skin felt like it was burning. I instinctively wrap my arms around myself to try and preserve what little body heat I have left, but it doesn't change a thing. I might as well not even be wearing a coat for all the time, for the good mine does. As nice as it is to have the moon keeping things from being completely pitch black, I could really go for some cloud cover right about now. Anything to keep some warmth around us. Tara doesn't even notice the cold. Armed with nothing but her signature jacket, she seems immune to the chill. She's oohs and ahs all over the rustic train platform, like there might be a ghost hiding in the rafters. Just a minute later, the train rumbles off into the night, leaving us behind. Not a single passenger boarded. Tara watches it go, nodding in approval. Okay, this place is already killing in terms of its atmosphere. It's like she completely forgotten the uncomfortable energy that had filled the train, back to her usually overly excited self. I should probably be bitter, but instead I can't help feeling jealous of how she can just shake it off. She has a little pocket camera that she's been carrying with her, and she used it to take a few pictures of the inky blackness surrounding us. I glance upwards at the lights which hang from the ceiling. They're small candles lit with real flame, as opposed to electric. One of them has blown out and swings uselessly in the breeze. They're about as ineffective at keeping away the darkness as my coat is at keeping me warm. The low light will surely ruin Tara's photos, but she's snapping away without care. You know, none of those are actually going to be visible, right? She ignores me. I should probably just let her enjoy the moment. This place really does feel super eerie. Listen! I do, and it soon becomes apparent what she's referring to. The silence. It's all around us. It's quiet. Even the sound of the train has faded, leaving us in total solitude. The flickering lights of Eisenfeld seem impossibly far away, though I know it can't be more than half an hour's walk. It's so quiet! Isn't that cool? We're definitely not in Kansas anymore. That's one way to put it. I strain my eyes and ears looking for a hint of Morgan, who is supposed to be picking us up. You'd think the sound of a car's engine would probably carry pretty far out here. For real though, I think this could be the place where we finally get some hard evidence. Something solid. Hello? She says this every time, but she usually sounds like she means it more. Just look at it. Something's gotta be out there. I can feel it. We both look off towards the trees. From the train, it was difficult to see where they ended. Here on the platform, it's impossible. My expectations aren't any higher than usual though, which is to say, non-existent. I wonder if Tara really believes what she's saying either. When she speaks again, her voice is quiet. That would be the perfect standoff, wouldn't it? Her words sting. Damn it, not here, not already. I want to try and deflect away from this somehow. To set her back on her path. Let her enjoy this moment without me spoiling it. Who knows? Maybe this time we'll... maybe this will be the one that finally gets you a comm panel so you don't have to crash someone else's. That was one time, and their panel would have sucked without me. Her voice has an edge of her typical bravado again. It's a relief to hear. She returns to her camera, and I give myself a moment to try and take in my surroundings. Supernatural or not, there's something oddly serene about this place. That said, I'd like it a lot more if it wasn't so damn cold. I shiver and cross my arms even tighter. Surely Morgan will be here soon. I can't wait to see the village tomorrow. I hope it's like one of those museum exhibits with the little replica towns and people. In what way? Like architecturally. She sounds out the word slowly. All rustic and old-timey. I can't imagine that it'll be that different from home. They've got to be modern enough for Morgan to watch Terra Normal after all. If you're expecting people to be walking around in monocles and waistcoats, you're going to be disappointed. And here I thought I'd finally get a chance to show off how amazing I look in a top hat. I'm sure you'd been the teen heartthrob of the Victorian era. She gives me a brief snort of amusement. Her responses feel more muted than usual, but the fact that we're still able to banter is a good sign. I'm glad that I can cheer her up, even if I was the cause of her low mood in the first place. However, after a moment, she looks back at me. Her expression is serious for once. Okay, so about Morgan, like I said before, let's give her a chance to get all the excitement out of the way first. We should be nice and friendly, but let's try and keep it professional. I never thought I'd hear you, of all people, say that. I find myself flashing back to all the unprofessional situations I've had to extricate Tara from, ranging from bad one-night stands to actual police custody. There are a lot of ways I could describe Tara, but professional is definitely not one of them. Hey, I usually make a good first impression. It's just a second impression, and beyond that you gotta watch out for. I laugh out loud, and I catch her smirking before she looks away. She can play it cool all she wants, but I can tell from the way she's bouncing up and down that she's undeniably excited for this fangirling moment she mentioned. It's usually one of her favorite parts. I'm sure her little ego boost will go a long way right about now. I can feel myself hopping back and forth slightly as well, but that's more out of a desire to keep my blood flowing. Thankfully, it isn't too long before I can see a silhouette of someone approaching through the storm. Oh god, I gotta do a third fight. And take a little sip. Oh, thank God. That's gotta be her, right? Given that we're the only people out here, I really hope so. As the girl gets closer, she gets easier to see. She's not exactly an imposing figure. She moves with purpose, so carrying a large thermos, which she raises in greeting as she approaches. Oh my god. I wave back. Yo, what should her voice be though? I have no idea. One of the first things I notice about her is that for some ungodly reason she's not wearing a coat. All she's got on to protect her from the frigid weather is what looks like a hand-knit sweater, much like Tara. Once she reaches the platform, she greets us with nothing more than a tired smile and a small nod. Not exactly the geeking out Tara was expecting. Oh fuck. Hold up. Anybody have any ideas of what she should sound like? Hmm? Maybe really fucking high pitched. Hold up for 1 second though. I'm gonna be right back. Muted. I'm dumb, I was muted. It's working now, right? Pip, 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 pip. Hello. Go. Go, 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 go. Alright, let me take a sip again. Here we go. Hey there, you two. Sorry I'm late. Her voice is friendly, but flat. Sounds like she hasn't slept in days. Tara looks a little bit taken aback by how subdued she is. Recovering quickly, she puts on her big celebrity grin. Oh, no worries. Are you Morgan? That's right. No. That's right. It's really nice to meet you, Tara. Morgan's smile does seem to grow warmer as she greets her, but her face quickly regains a neutral expression a moment later. I can see Tara's smile faltering as she realizes that this is clearly the maximum amount of geeking out this girl's capable of. To her credit, she recovers well. Likewise, charmed, I'm sure. Okay, maybe not that well. Tara extends her hand and Morgan gives her a brief handshake before turning it to me. You're medicine, right? I think we spoke online already. Just Maddie is fine. Nice to meet you. She shakes my hand as well. It's a firm, friendly handshake that ends as quickly as it began. Before she continues, she takes another sip from her thermos. I find myself wishing for a cup of coffee too. It's nice to meet the two of you. I'm sure you received a lot of invitations, so I'm glad you were interested in mine. Are you kidding? Remote village in the middle of a huge forest? There's no way I'd pass that up. I've heard all kinds of stories about the things you'll find in places like this. Hopefully not too many, or I won't have anything new for you. Oh, I'm sure you've got something I'll be interested in. Real smooth, Tara. So much for being a professional. I can see Morgan's mouth twitching slightly at the comment. I can only hope it was something closer to a smile than a grimace. Yo, is Tara simping for Morgan already? Tomorrow, I can show you around the village. There isn't much out of the ordinary there, but I'm sure you can find a few new things that interest you. That would be wonderful. We can go sightseeing when Tara isn't off chasing spirits around in the woods. Morgan and I both smile. Tara flashes me a look of mock annoyance for the slight. But it's probably eating her up that I've gotten more of a reaction out of Morgan than she has. It's about half an hour ride to the cabin. It's about half an hour carriage ride to the cabin. I thought it said cabbage ride. It's about half an hour's carriage ride to the cabin if you guys want to head out. Do you need help with your bags at all? Tara lifts her bags, giving Morgan another shiny grin. I'm pretty sure I see her accidentally flex her arms too. Psh, don't even worry about it. I got this. Okay, cool. This way. As we follow her, I can see Tara pouting behind her. I've never seen the wind get taken out of her sails like that. At least that gives her another thing to think about besides my departure. Wait a second. Did she say carriage? No! Wait! We're standing in front of an honest-to-God horse-drawn carriage. If it weren't for the little white puffs of breath coming from the horse's noses, I'd be willing to believe that it was some sort of commemorative statue. This is so cool! Is this yours? It belongs to my family. Given that there aren't any roads through the woods, there isn't really a point out here owning a car. I move closer, examining the craftsmanship as best as I can in the moonlight. The design is fairly bare bones, but a few flourishes here and there, and some semi-ornate painted finishes make it clear that this was something built with love and care. Somehow, I'm the only one who seems to be intrigued by your ride. Tara, come take a look at it. As I speak, I look back and see her standing completely still, as if the cold has rooted her to the spot. Give me a sec. I'm just taking in the views for a bit, from a distance. She's trying to act nonchalant, but her wide-eyed, but her wide eyes keep flicking towards the horses. Her previously genuine grin has turned into a very nervous grimace. Slowly inching forward, she scoots further away from the horses as she approaches the carriage. I doubt she planned for part of her first impression to be Morgan learning that she is absolutely terrified of horses. She had better at least learn to tolerate them, or this is going to be an even longer trip than I expected. Wait, is this the only way through the woods? How are we going to get back and forth between the cabin and the village? Don't tell me we'll have our own horse-drawing carriage. Neither of us can drive the one. Oh, I'm going to be driving you. I can take you back and forth and help you navigate the woods. You didn't expect me to just let you wander around the forest in the middle of nowhere without a guide, did you? Tara, still slowly making her way forwards to the carriage, does her best to give me a look of excitement. If anything, it resembles the look of a panicked hostage. The fact that she's still trying to play it cool is almost admirable in its futility. You sure that's not any trouble? I'd hate to be an inconvenience, or I'd hate to inconvenience you any more than we already have. It's no trouble. I run my own shop. My schedule's pretty flexible. I'm more than happy to help. She looks over at Tara, who finally made it within a few feet of the carriage. She shoots us both a thumbs up. I have a feeling she might need it. Trust me, you have no idea. Where's all the gay stuff? We've been at like half an hour in and there's no gay stuff yet. We need more gay. Morgan turns and deftly swings up into her seat, taking a hold of the reins. Tara finally manages to place her hands on the carriage and climb up to sit alongside her, shaking all the way. I let out a sigh of relief and follow suit, mounting up next to Tara. Ooh. It's a little cramped up here, but I feel weird just sitting by myself. Besides, not keeping an eye on Tara is a pretty guaranteed way to make an even worse first impression. So, can you do any tricks in this thing? The path to the cabin turns out to be a complicated one. We've been making twists and turns through the trees for a few minutes, but Morgan seems to know exactly where she's going. Not even the dark can stand in her way. You can navigate through all this with just a little lantern? How can you see the landmarks? Don't worry, I know these woods better than just about anything. Besides, the moonlight is more than enough for me. I can't help but feel embarrassed as I think about all the times I had to use the flashlight on my phone just to find something I dropped in a car. I definitely wouldn't last out here. Looking over, I can see Tara bouncing her leg, probably about to launch into a torrent of questions for Morgan. After that flopped introduction, she's clearly a little less gung-ho than usual, but I know that won't stop her. As such, I should probably get my handling of the actual adult stuff out of the way quickly before it gets lost in the noise. Is there anything about the town or the people that we should know? Local customs, things to avoid saying, that sort of thing. Morgan thinks for a moment. Silent. There's a curfew at midnight. Also, you're not supposed to go too far into the forest. I ignore both of those rules a lot. Most of the villagers tend to be sticklers about them though. Great, so our host is a troublemaker? I guess that means Tara will be in good company. So while we're on our way, could you maybe tell us about some of the specific supernatural occurrences you've seen here so far? Here she goes. Morgan sits up at the question. She looks over towards us, and her eyes seem to lose a bit of their constant drowsiness. She's been waiting for this. Well, we have a lot of freak weather events, strange storms that appear and disappear, or are localized to certain parts of the forest in ways that shouldn't be possible. Tara nods solemnly, already totally enraptured in what Morgan is saying. Sometimes, when I walk in the woods, I can see strange lights here and there, like tiny little stars in the forest. I've never been able to get close to them though. I raise an eyebrow, but don't say anything. We've had countless cases of strange lights before, all of which have ended with a rational explanation that doesn't seem to damper Tara's spirits. Reading hard. I start to drift off. This is more Tara's jurisdiction anyway, so I'm sure they can just wake me up when we get there. There's also my cat. Your cat is a supernatural occurrence? She can talk, so I'd say so. What? Got a talking cat? Her words snap me out of my trance. Looking over at her, I expect to see her holding in a laugh or sporting some kind of mischievous grin, but her face is as serious as it's been since we've arrived. Your cat can talk? Like the way a human does? Yes, she is very well spoken, in fact. I try to hide a sigh. Weird weather and lights in the woods are ambiguous enough that we can play along with them, but every so often we get these blatantly fake claims too, like a talking cat. Tara, however, instantly perks up once her word sinks in. She can't actually believe her, right? So, could we talk to her? She won't mind if I ask her a few questions, right? I was hoping you'd ask. I think you'll be very interested in what she has to say. The whole thing is clearly some kind of joke, but Tara is absolutely taken in. I can practically see the wheels turning in her head as she plans out her follow-up questions. That's never good. So, do you have any ideas about what could be causing it? Something in her diet, maybe? I don't think so. Have you been feeding her some kind of special Eisenfeld cat food? Can I try some? Okay, I think that's enough of that. When Tara starts talking about eating cat food, it's time for me to exercise a little diplomacy and maybe move the conversation forward. Crazy or not, I think we should move on. So what kind of things does she talk to you about? Just about our lives, for the most part. I figure you'd be better off hearing it from her rather than me. I'm sure that would be illuminating. I'll say, if there's something that paranormal in the village itself, you must have seen way crazier stuff in the woods. She starts to gesture as she talks, pointing back towards the village and swinging her arms around as she mentions the woods. Well, there's one pretty major thing, but you'll probably won't believe me. I wouldn't have come out here if I didn't believe in you. Anything you want to say, I want to hear. I can't detect a hint of cynicism in her voice. Either she really believes this girl she just met has a talking cat, or she's giving a performance worthy of an Oscar. Are you sure? 110%. Lay it on me. She winks at her and flashes her with finger guns, back in celebrity mode. Tara is good at recovery with these things, but I've never seen her recover on this level with such speed. But as I watch her lean in towards Morgan to make sure she catches her next statement, I realize another possible reason for her passionate response. If there's one thing she loves more than hearing strange stories, it's trying to impress a cute girl. Now things are starting to fall into place a bit more. Ooh. Well, one of the reasons I called you out here is, I'm not sure if it has a name, but it's some kind of forest spirit. Spirit? Like a ghost or something? No, so something physical, some sort of massive creature, like the forest came to life. Okay, this is new. Even the crazier fans don't get this outlandish. But Tara's absolutely eating it up. No matter what her reasoning is, I'm glad she's having a good time. Is there anything else you can tell me about it? Does it speak or anything? Have you managed to interact with it at all? Is it more kaiju sized or more basketball player sized? I've only seen it once, unfortunately, so I don't know too much about it. I've searched for it a number of times since, but without any results. Who knows, maybe you two will have better luck than I have. That's what you're best at, isn't it? In terms of talents, it's certainly up there. Morgan's mouth turns up into a small but seemingly genuine smile, and her expression grows slightly less intimidating. I knew you'd believe me. Nobody else around here does. I can't imagine why. I feel a pang of guilt as that thought crosses my mind. As crazy as her story sounds, it can't possibly be easy feeling rejected in a community this isolated. No wonder she was so eager to bring us into the fold. So, how far away would you say we are from the cabin? We should be coming up to it any minute now. I'll help the two of you get situated and then head back. I'll be happy to tell you more about the spirit tomorrow. Thank God. Oh, yeah, that's great. I'm exhausted. That much isn't a lie. All I want to do right now is pass out. We've passed the last of the houses that I can see, but the sparsely marked path continues onwards to the forest. The last traces of civilization are behind us now. By any minute now, what exactly did you mean? I can't keep the biting tone entirely out of my voice. Just ahead, see? She points forwards into the darkness. I strain my eyes to see anything other than murk. Finally, I spot the faint outline of a small cabin, practically swallowed by the forest. I started the heater before I left to get you, so it should be warm. That's what I like to hear. You're like Prometheus. I'm surprised you know who that is. Why? I love that movie. Morgan suddenly jerks the reins and the horses come to a stop. Tara and I are rattled from our seats and nearly fall forward. Damn it! What happened? Rather than answer, Morgan just glares into the darkness where the cabin is. I strain to say what she does, as my heart starts to race. Is it a wild animal? A bear? Wolf? The sound of footsteps as a shadow detaches itself from the cabin and moves towards us. A human shadow. An older woman comes into view, stopping just at the edge of the lantern's light. Okay, well, this is where I'm gonna stop, because I'm getting a little bit tired, but... Thank you all for listening, and until next time, bye!